So if I'm here, I know this is going to start coming back. So all I got to do is just make sure I deflect it up. I don't even have to, all I got to do is either lift my arm up this way at an angle, or just lift my arm up and let it come back, because one of the things you didn't see was, remember out here, boom, cut me? All right. This comes from Ron Saturno. I took that stutter step. Come in, boom. So now I just wrap them up. I do a little shark bite, get him here, but I don't care about those little idiosyncrasies. What I want is I want to control him, because my whole thing's about stealing space and structure. Once I got his structure, now I'm going to take his space. 1, 2, okay? Now, this is the second part of the technique. This is, when I say the technique, I mean what's going to effectively change or disrupt what he's doing. 1, 2, I get to here, he's trying to figure out what's going on. Here's the other part of the technique. I slide down, and I want to grab that meat, the meat of that palm. Okay? If anybody's worked with Mickey Lopez, Coach Mick, this is a key movement of his. I grab that palm, I grab his shirt. Again, I'm about pain, and I'm about destruction. I'm going to take my foot, and I'm either going to step on that. I'm going to not step, slide down, I'm going to step through. Preferably, I like the ankle. Smaller bones, easier to break. I come and I just stomp straight down on that. That's going to buckle him. Yeah. More than likely push him back this way. He's going to go back this way. Here's the other part of the technique. Boom. And then I start my run. So let's do that slow.
Yeah.
He comes. Boom. I'm going to slide underneath. I'm going to catch him. As I catch him, I'm going to tongue. 1, 2. Then I'm going to slide down, grab that knee, step on that ankle. As I step on that ankle, he's going to push away this way. I still got a hold of him, and I follow the highway. Bam. Now, you can step through. I choose not to, unless my back is against the wall, because as soon as I do this, I'm going this way. Or I'm going that way. Again, evasiveness is the key to surviving.
Okay, that's the mentality. Go home, call your lawyer.
Or go home.
Oh, go home.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that is at the crux of what we're doing. Now, if I have a knife and you have a knife, again, coming off of the number 1 with the outside with the number 2 counter, boom, same thing. I'm here. This is the technique and the movement. I want to clear that, because if I don't clear that, if I just do this, boom, okay, boom. All right. Now he's out here. Now, 2 things I want to point out. All these beautiful targets. All these beautiful targets. The other thing I want to point out is, which target am I going to attack? See, what Grant has showed me and I share with other people is, your weapon will determine your target. So an example, throw.
Okay.
You'll see this as part of a technique, right? So you're forming the technique to fit the weapon.
Huh.
The weapon should fit your technique. Why am I going to chase after you? Why am I going to spend time trying to figure out where to stick you? If my knife is down, here, 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 right? Stick it in the thigh, turn. A lot of different techniques. If I have, hey, dude, we don't need to do this, and you throw. No, I'm up here. And the beauty is I'm behind you, and I'm on the outside of you. So this is the concept stuff. This is the stuff that you can look at where you're watching this video and go, yeah, I get that. I get that shit, dude. Yeah. It's nothing. No, it's not nothing. There's nothing new here. And if by some bizarre chance that you see something new that you've never seen before that comes out of me, God gets the credit, because I didn't do that. But everybody else's stuff you share with me, I've played with and made my own.
God, Master Harry Green.
Same thing. Just kidding. Sorry, Christian friends. But the point I'm making is that there's nothing new here. But it's like what the Bladed Mind teaches, we talked about this in depth, is that it's teaching the individual how to use their body in the structure that they have. I'm 57 years old, I'm damn near 300 pounds, and I got a bad knee. I'm not going to box this young man who's stronger than me. I'll just say what it is. So I have to be a little smarter.
I don't know about stronger.
Well,
More youthful.
I'll give you that.
Prettier.
Yeah.
But
I got better. I got better. So throw. My blade is down here. My weapon's down here. It's down here. If we're here, boom, it's here. I'm like, hey, dude, we don't need to do this. Then it's here. Okay. So where your weapon orientation will determine your target. Just that simple. Because you want efficacy, right? You want to be effective.
you don't want to have to go, oh, wait.
Exactly. Exactly.
So how do you then keep a student from going to their ready position or their go-to stance?
Okay. That's your go-to stance?
No.
I would say, let's say this, right?
No, my go-to stance is where
No,
I'm standing.
no, let's say
let's say this is my
right.
go-to.
So let's do this slow because I don't want you to get hurt. So if I throw, right? Boom, what are you going to do? You're going to come here, right?
Yeah.
So this is your go-to stance here.
Right.
All I'm going to do, if I see that you're always going to go to that, I'm just going to cut you here. You'll get this cut, but I'm going to get this cut. I don't know if the camera can see that.
Now we'll turn this way. There you go.
Okay? I'm going to bleed, he's going to bleed. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here. I cut this bicep just a little bit here because the bicep makes your arm go like this. Yep. I may lose the grip of the knife, but he's going to lose the grip of the arm. So let's say we do that. Let's just pretend. All right, so let's go here. Boom, throw, throw, boom, boom, boom. We come here, right? I cut, he cuts at the same time. Boom, drop your knife. I drop my knife because I get cut here, he loses that bicep. What do I still have? I got full use of my arm.
Woohoo! Oh wow, okay.
But see, this is the stuff that comes out of conversations with an instructor who's taken the time to speak with you about this stuff. Now you can think of this stuff through,
Right.
You know, but this here, the cut here, and the cut here, they came out of a conversation with Green, the great Grandmaster Green, on a drive back from Reno. We talked about it.
That's where the real training happens,
It
folks.
does. You know, it's like, and we talk about cutting the bicep and cutting the forearm. So this particular move itself was never really discussed. The concept of cutting the bicep and the arm falls under the conversation that when you're with Green or myself, we'll have is like, how do you take a cut? Well, in order for you to take a cut, you got to understand the anatomy of a cut, right?
Because you shouldn't go training into knives thinking
No.
you're never going to get cut.
Oh, geez, no.
That's a terrible mentality,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And we will tell you, we're the first one to tell you, you play with knives, you're going to get cut.
All the
But
time.
here's the thing, if I know I'm going to take a cut here, and you're going to take a cut here, you know, at some point you got to think about this stuff, and it's the lesser of two evils. So if I cut you here, and you cut me here, we both lose our knives, you lose the capability of this arm, I still got this arm, so I can throw elbows, I can grab, it's going to get bloody and messy then. Yep, that's what
Damn. You know, not a lot of people talk about the idea of you getting cut.
Oh, well, you know, it's funny. So for the Kaiju folks out there, love you brothers and sisters. Because of the Kaiju, we hit.
Right.
You know, I think I posted something on one of my pages. You guys saw bruises from the October visit with the Ordinance Kaji Kempo folks out in Mesa. Love you folks, Lahana. We hit. Well, that's already conditioned me to take a cut. So when Green says, so Green says, hey, you know, it depends on how you take a cut. It fucking got me.
Yeah.
Let's play. You know, that's not bravado.
No, of course.
That's intellectual processing.
Because you have to know it.
If I'm going to get hit or I'm going to get cut, I need to know what the hell I'm going to do with that, right?
Yeah, they
So
say for boxers, if you want to learn how to, survive a knockout, you're knocked out.
Right. So if I go here, cut me on the inside.
Right.
Boom. Okay. So anatomy of a cut. He cuts me here. Well, what's going to happen?
That's going to drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't grip.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why. You rip down, I'm going to lose that grip. As soon as I feel that, I turn this way. Right? And I draw back a little bit. Two things happen. What?
It doesn't cut deep enough.
And what else happens? What you going to do? What's your natural body proclivity?
You're going to follow it.
Right, you follow me. Here. Parlor trick. Parlor trick. But the point's the same. I come here and I feel that and I come out this way.
Right.
To Green's point, how do you take a cut? Well, you can take the cut, or you can play with your movement to lessen the severity of the cut. Because as I do this, and again, you got to think about this all the way. This is the higher learning stuff. I come here, I feel that, I go out this boom, I'm here, and all of a sudden we're here.
Right.
Okay. So you see me messed up. That happens.
Right.
I come here, boom, boom. Now I fix myself. What happened here? I steal his structure, right?
Yeah, because I'm on my toes right now.
Now I'm going to steal his space. 1, 2. And then from here, I can rotate into him, but I just stuck him in the neck. I go, dude, you're bleeding. What's the first thing you do? Exactly. But if I tell you you're bleeding, what's the first thing you're thinking about?
Oh, shit.
Because the more you chase after me, the faster the blood's going to pump.
Oh, yeah.
0 to 60 in 4.5 hours. So,
sorry, I was slow on that one. I was on his timetable.
So there's a lot of different things we can do with the knife. You know, you folks do a wonderful job of talking about the orientation of the knife. Why don't you get folks what the orientation of the knife is? The five aspects.
Oh, the 5 aspects. So we do, even though we use a stick, which is rounded, we tell our students that always think of it as a blade. There's 5 points to the blade. There's the edge, the tip, there's the spine or the blunted side, there the 2 faces on either side, and then the puño. So you're able to do some impact. And the idea behind it is that if you can orient yourself with a rounded weapon at all times, then it doesn't matter what you put in your hand afterwards. You will always have a sense of where you are and what you're capable of doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So earlier we were working with Orlando.
Yes, Orlando.
And we're talking, yeah, thank you. Orientation of the strike, which you guys were working with, and that's another episode in the future.
way in the future when this becomes a thing.
So when you have to understand when you play with a knife, like Green says, you gotta turn the knife in your hand. You gotta get comfortable playing with it so you know what's going on. I'll share this with you when I was at Bobby Gomez's Island Style Couch Campo in Fremont. Sharing on the mat for Green in his absence, we talked about knife orientation, and I was talking to the students. And I said, you know, who here has a cutting block of knives?
Right.
Everybody puts their hand up, right? I said, how do you grab a knife? How do you grab? This is the cutting block. How do you grab it?
Usually like this.
Right. How do you grab the knife? Exactly. So hold on. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
So what I showed them was when I grab a cutting block knife, I'll grab it this way.
Uh-huh.
I'll grab it this way. I'll grab it this way. I'll grab it this way, turn it in my hand, flip it around as I'm cutting. All while I'm looking at my wife or you in this case.
Wait, she's still with you after every time you're like, hi honey, how are you?
Oh no, when we go to bed, she starts cleaning the gun. Okay, you know where this stands, all right? So 30 years next August.
That's how you do it, folks.
30 years.
30 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's
You know, we're at 20 right now, but you know, time-wise.
30, well, you know, who started young? But knife orientation is key. So when the stuff that we played with, you know, you play with the variations now. Again, this is how we're learning stuff. So as you come at me with that, right? So we did this. This is the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Come with an inside. Boom. Now I'm on inside. Okay. Now lesson says I'm out here. Cut my head. Boom. Right. So again, application says I'm here.
Oh, it's almost me trying to cut you, led you here.
It did. And you know why? Because I let you pull me in. This is Michael Smith out of Reno. I know who I'm here. Why am I going to put the effort? I'll just grab him here and then turn his body this way, right?
It's awkward as shit.
All right. So do that again. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm here. Now I came underneath the chin, but we talk about understanding the orientation of the knife position. We're going to go slow. I want to keep your teeth. All right. So throw. Boom. He pulls me in. Boom. Now watch. Again, I'm about violence because I want this guy to know that, quite frankly, he shouldn't be doing this, not only just to me, but anybody else. Come right across. As I come across, I grab behind the neck using the backside of the blade. I bring him in, boom, boom, and I'm gone. Because what's he worried about?
Yeah, this. Because I just saw a blade go across my face.
Yeah. And you felt that, didn't you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't care how sharp your blade is. When you come across, if somebody does this with a blade, dull or otherwise, you know exactly where that blade is. What are you concerned about?
The bleeding.
Be strategic in what you do. To quote Grandmaster Ron Esteller, fighting is not escaping. Fighting is not escaping. That comes from the Safe Kids program. By the way, Grandmaster Ron Esteller out of Pleasanton, California.
Awesome program.
Safe Kids, great program. get to it, get your kids in it.
No, he saved a lot of kids.
And he has, documented saves.
Yes.
So fighting's not escaping. Again, when you get under green or when you come under my tutelage at some point, we'll get you to the point of you get all the physical stuff you need. The rest is now working through concepts.
Right. The mentality.
Right. So if you throw, let's do that again. Boom, and I come in here, right? Why do I have to punch him? That's going to hurt my hand, right? So if I come in here, even if I miss, I'm going to catch something, right?
Yeah.
So all I got to do, again, efficiency is just turn my hand and drag that blade across, because all the blade is just an extension of my hand. Now he's bleeding. You got this taken care of.
Forgot about that.
Because what you don't see is, see where he has the puño? I just rotated his hand. By rotating his hand, I took this out of commission. As Grandmaster Green says, I know where that is. So I come in, boom, 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 I grab him, I come in, now I distract him, now I destruct him, and then I'll let go.
If you don't know, folks, hard impact, even though this is the strongest part of our head, still concussion.
Yep. And what do face wounds do when they get cut?
Oh, they stop working.
So one of the biggest things is, again, having a background, medical background from a lifetime ago, face wounds bleed. Any nurse, doctor, EMT, paramedic out there will tell you,
Yeah.
when you get cut, head wounds, face wounds, they just bleed.
Just as scarier, right?
And it's psychological. I love that. You can actually, if you want to blind somebody, cut them up here. That's why boxers shoot from above the eye.
Oh, yeah.
Once it gets in the eyes, you can't see. Take it at, dude, I've never been in a box ring in my life, but the thing about it is, fill your head.
Yeah.
Feed your head, to quote White Rabbit.
It doesn't matter where it comes as long as it's good information.
Exactly. So when you look at this, you gotta look at, I know we went all over the place, but
Right.
you gotta start with the basics. Then you gotta understand what you're doing within the basics. Then you gotta be able to do the basics well to where it's second nature. And then you look at the concept after that. So we do, the concept that I've always taken from my kaiju days is that we want to teach you the dance, right? That's this movement here, right? Teach you the dance. Because you want your body just to learn the gross motor skills, which we talked about. Then from the dance, we want to refine that in what I call martial up. That's where all that comes from.
Okay, and then that's the precursor to application.
That's the
Because
precursor.
application only really happens in a real situation.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So I just wanted to share with you folks because you asked. And I
No,
appreciate
dude,
the questions.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this. I love the way you teach because it's not you telling the student, but you explaining the situation and letting the student come to you when it comes to the understanding part.
Well, it's the coaching stuff. I just want folks to find it themselves.
Well, that was amazing. Just through, what was it, Dennis Duarte?
For you, just
Duante?
just call me pretty because you're gonna fuck up my name anyway.
Every single time.
Every single time.
Folks, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. All kidding aside, folks, we asked Dennis to come onto our mat because nobody else would.
Hey, you got me.
But no, we wanted to come on here because we had 2 shows with him,
Yes.
2 interviews, and he's never done a demo. So here it is, folks, the lost demo of Mr. Dennis Duarte.
But I love the fact that it's still Dennis in the sense that even though he showed something physical, it was still very mental. It was very psychological.
Yes.
Just like when he put us on the couch.
It's always in the grid.
So it really is, and to convey that and to get people to really understand it, because it wasn't a difficult explanation. It was simplistic.
It's not meant to be.
And it shouldn't be.
No.
And you make it very enjoyable in that
And
process.
this is the
Thank you.
first time that we've had, well, not the first, but one of the few times that somebody who's demoing something actually went with the why,
Yes.
as opposed to just doing the what.
Right.
Well,
And that's what I really loved about this.
let me just be clear, and this is just my personal belief. If you're teaching somebody anything, martial arts, whatever it is, if you don't include the why, you're doing a complete disservice. Where that why comes in, whether it's in the beginning, middle, or end,
Right.
you need to teach them the why.
Yes.
And that's a rare thing, even in my old classes that I used to have in the past, it was just follow the guy in front of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was never here's why you're going to do that, or why you should be doing this.
And it made it easier for me to follow along because I don't know the outside one, but I was like, oh, I get why the dip.
Now the little
that messed up.
nuances of that are in there. So yeah, thank you for that part of it, because to me that's always been the most important part of a class.
So look forward in 2022 if you're in this man's area. He will be opening up his school. I don't know why there was quotations there, but
Well, because I'm following Green's model for the same reason we just had to
Got
talk
it.
about. It's gonna be one person at a time, maybe a group of 4.
In his backyard.
Mobile martial arts as far as the city's concerned.
As far as
It's called a barbecue.
well, folks, this has been a special presentation of Collie Conversation way back in the past, before we even become Collie Conversation.
Right.
And thanks to this homeless guy that we found on the streets,
Yes.
Dennis Duarte.
Look forward to getting him a home later on in the future.
Maybe somewhere up in like Pleasanton.
Around that area.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice area. Yeah, good backyard.
They got Walmart
Yeah,
there.
they do.
I know Walmart, where America shops. And 3, 2, 1, cut! Jesus.
That was fun.
There's no wrong.